The vocal cords determine what range of voice you have. Not all of us were born with the same range or the ability to sing 4 or 5 octaves. An indication of the range of your voice or the type of voice you might have is usually determined, in most instances, by the timbre or quality of your speaking voice. If you have a fairly high-pitched speaking voice, the chances are that you will be either a tenor or a soprano. If you have a low-pitched voice, the tendency is that you will be either a bass or a contralto. If you have something that is in the middle, the chances are that you will be a baritone or a mezzo. The longer and thicker the vocal cords, the lower the voice. The shorter and thinner, the higher the voice. Sopranos and tenors have the shortest and thinnest vocal cords. Basses and contraltos have the longest and thickest vocal cords. The baritone and the mezzo have vocal cords which are somewhere in between. Now, if you looked at the strings of the piano, it's a very good example of this. If you look at the high strings in the piano, they're the shortest strings in the piano. If you look at the bass strings in the piano, they're long and they're wound, they're thick. So the important thing is that if you have a bass voice, that you don't sing in the same range as a tenor, because your vocal cords are not short enough to vibrate fast enough to produce the high-pitched sounds that a tenor or a soprano may be able to produce. The important thing is that you stay within your own range or the range of your own voice. Do not try to exceed 2 octaves. 2 octaves are all you need to be a singer. Some singers have more than 2 octaves. I happen to have 3 octaves. I'm a tenor. I have octaves from C, middle C to high C, but I also have an octave below. I can reach as low as most basses. But because my voice is a tenor, the octave below middle C is of no use to me whatsoever. All it does is strengthen my lower notes. The important thing is that all you need is 2 octaves. So stay within your own range. Now, in the exercises that I'm going to give you in this technique, they are used because exercises are pure sound. In other words, you can't hide behind them. Any vocal faults that you may have are going to stick out like a sore thumb. A song involves 3 basic things: the melody, the rhythm or time, and the lyrics or the words. Now, because of these three things, you can hide a lot of vocal faults behind those 3 involvements. But with the exercises using pure sound, it is almost impossible to hide your vocal faults. And of course, this is what we want to have happen. We want to be able to correct those faults. Now, the exercises are to be used to develop the vocal technique. You will not develop your vocal technique by singing a song. In other words, if you're trying to think of the 3 involvements in a song and then you're trying to think of the technical involvements of the technique itself, it'd be almost impossible to think of all of those things at one time. So we're going to use the exercises to help develop the technique. It is very important that you do not try to develop the technique in the higher range of your voice. Accompanying this technique will be an audio tape with the exercises that you're going to do. You're going to learn to sing in the lower octave of your range, and once the technique is established, then you will move 1/2 note or semitone at a time into the upper range of your voice. The lower part of the voice, the middle and lower part of the voice, require very much less breath than the higher part of the voice. The top part of the voice is a study in itself. If you want to wind up with vocal faults, all you have to do is try to sing the top part of your range before you have established the technique in the lower half of your range. So stick within the confines of your own range. Practice these exercises that are accompanying the course in the lower octave of your voice until you are fairly sure that you have understood the technique and that it is working for you. Then slowly move up into the higher part of your voice.